young men out there playing a brand new season of football. Unfortunately, there's others out there who have turned the spotlight in a different direction. So tonight, we are back not only on YouTube, but on Your View, and appreciate that partnership. Earlier this evening, the Sugar King Classic was underway between Port Allen and Bruley, but that game was not finished. And on the call for that broadcast tonight is our good friend Jeff Palermo. Jeff, thanks so much for joining us for a couple minutes here at the start of the show.
Yeah, Cade. It was a tough situation tonight at Port Allen High School. Very, very difficult. You just, especially considering how well the first half was played. It was a 13-13 game. Two great high schools. The place was packed. Fans were enjoying the game, and then towards the end of halftime, some sort of altercation occurred, and gunshots rang out, and fans started running for cover.
Now, this was inside the stadium, right?
Yes, it was inside the stadium. It was right next, for anybody that's familiar with Port Allen High School, it was right next to their concession stand that occurred. Now, the teams were not on the field. They had not yet returned from halftime, and so they weren't out on the field. But obviously, a lot of people around the concession stand. It's halftime, and we were in the press box, so I never heard the gunshots go off, but people that were there just heard a quick rapid fire of gunshots go off, and then people started running. And obviously, when you see people running like that, you know something terrible has just happened, and that's exactly what happened. And when we were leaving the stadium, a helicopter had arrived, landed on the football field. I had only thought that there was one person wounded in the shooting, but now reading the media reports from the West Baton Rouge Sheriff's Office, there are two people that were wounded. One was taken by ambulance, and the other one air med. But the first responders there were working furiously, working as much as they can to try to save that young man's life. And it's just an absolutely terrible situation that occurred tonight at Port Allen High School.
It's sad. Those two teams have been playing for a long time. They're 5 miles apart, maybe. This has been a common occurrence. You had last night, Green Oaks and Southwood, where they cleared the benches. You can look for suspensions coming. They had to cancel the Sicily Island Vidalia game with 4:17 left in the first half due to a brawl. This one ends in a shooting in what were all good ball games. And
we saw some at the end of last year as well.
It's got to stop. Yeah. And I don't know how I know Port Allen is going to run the law enforcement and all that. They're going to have the security and all that they're going to have to, but you just can't stop people sometimes.
So, what's different about this, obviously, it was inside the stadium than most. Jeff, it does have to stop. What's the LHSA going to be able to do to try to maybe enforce? It's a tough situation to be in, but I'd just like to hear your opinion on that.
Well, the one thing I guess you can do, the thing that I guess I instantly thought of is you're going to just have to start having metal detectors out. And as sad as that is, this is a high school sporting event where 15, 16, 17, 18-year-old kids are just playing a game. But to me, that's the only way you could potentially stop something like this. If people are bringing guns to games, it's absolutely just crazy.
It is.
You see it, and I'm all for that. If you have to put metal detectors, I could see the LHSA going in several directions. You hate to penalize the Port Allen faculty when they do all they can do. If they did that, but I could see them ruling to where, okay, you can't have any fans. Well, is that fair to the kids? No, not really. Another question I have, is this 13-13 a final score as an official tie, or can they go back tomorrow and say, okay, we're going to finish it tomorrow with nobody in the stands?
Right.
I've seen that done before. So
I would
final
think,
ruling?
I would think it would probably be the latter, but metal detectors is not unheard of. I think
No.
Orleans and Jefferson Parish, as I'm being told, has those at their games. And that's the thing that really, I think y'all hit on it. This is all about kids. We do what we do because of the kids. Jeff, you do what you do because of the kids, and you want to highlight them. And it's just a sad state of affairs when our society, when somebody has to bring a gun to a game, that's not good. If you're not a
Law enforcement
officer, I mean, you shouldn't have it, period.
Yeah.
And go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say, and it's not like there was only like 2 cops at the scene when this happened. I mean, there's deputies all over the place. This is the biggest game of the year in West Baton Rouge Parish. And I don't know why it kind of sticks in my mind now because of what happened, but I remember when I parked my vehicle and walked into the stadium, you walk by about 8 or 10 deputies and Port Allen police officers and all that. So there's plenty of law enforcement there, but that still does not deter someone from going inside a venue where there's, I mean, literally thousands of people there, and is obviously is armed. And from what I understand, my Tommy Cooper, my stats guy, he was in the restroom when this all occurred, and he kind of saw it happen really out of the corner of his eye. It was just a brief scuffle, and then all of a sudden, just shots fired.
You can have every security measure in place to the best of your ability, and you're not going to stop stupidity. It doesn't matter whether it's somebody with a gun. It doesn't matter if it's a basketball game or a football game or a baseball game. When fans want to come on the field and cross that line, they're coming. And there's no amount of cops or officials that can stop it.
Yep.
No, there really isn't. But this is just a horrible way to start the football season, and I just pray for the victims and their families, because this was just it just amazes me that how well that game was played. And I remember looking around the stadium at one point, just seeing, man, there's so many people here. This is so great. Even though it's 90 degrees out, and these fans are cheering on these kids, and it was a terrific game. Big plays happening in a 13-13 game. You're looking forward to another great finish in this classic that has seen a lot of close games here over the years. And then something like this happens. It's horrible. But I think to answer your question earlier, Jimmy, about what's going to happen next, I don't foresee them coming back out there Saturday or Sunday and playing a game. I think what has happened here is it has to have shaken the entire community. And I think this is going to take a few days for everyone to process exactly what just happened.
Jeff, I'm going to let Cade give you an update in just a second. But before we do that and let you go, is there anything about the game that you want to talk about that actually took place in the first half that was good news? Give me some good news, man.
Well, I tell you what, I was impressed with the athleticism of both teams. I think both teams are really good, and there's both teams were getting after it in this one. Great contest. It's almost kind of hard to even think about what happened during the game, to be honest with you. But the Brandon Davis kid, he's pretty darn good, man. I tell you what, and then Port Allen has some other really good running backs. Darius Wright, he busted off a long run as well. The Oxley brothers for Bruley, they looked really good. Even with the sophomore quarterbacks, I think both of them, you could tell that they're gonna kind of grow up with these guys. Cody Loop had an outstanding touchdown catch in the end zone.
Boy, he did.
Yeah, and so there was a lot of terrific stuff, but unfortunately, it just gets all marred by just senseless behavior by a couple of individuals.
Okay, you want to give us an update?
Yeah, so of the 2 that were taken from the game, one was reported to have passed. The other one still injured, reported to critically injured. So that's according to our news partners at WBRZ.
You can say multiple news stations are doing it, saying it now.
Yeah. So
Jeff, thank you, man. We appreciate you taking up your time. hate that you were in that environment, and hopefully it gets better and these people get this straight, man. These kids deserve to have a fun, successful high school career.
Yeah, no doubt about it. No doubt about it. Thanks, guys. Always look forward to on the ride home from my games listening to you guys. You do a great job. Thanks again.
Appreciate it.
Tell you what, we'll take a time out. We appreciate Jeff coming on here, kind of short notice, getting him on following what went down in Port Allen tonight between I can't say between at the stadium, nothing to do with the game itself, and really has been a sour note to the start of week one. We'll take a time out. When we get back, we'll give you our first full scoreboard of the night, going from Baton Rouge, North and Central Louisiana, out in Acadiana, down the Bayou, New Orleans. When we return, this is the week one edition of Louisiana Prep Scoreboard, presented by Lake Urgent Care on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Not only does Government Taco have the best street tacos in town, they also offer many reasons to come back for more. Join the Government Taco Rewards program and earn 1 point for every $1 you spend and a $5 discount for every 100 points you redeem. You can join now by visiting govttaco.com. And the Government Taco Totalitarian Package gets you 2 tacos and your choice of queso or salsa with chips and a fountain drink for just $12. And pick up Margarita Go Cup tumblers and bring it back for 10% off refills. Government Taco, 5621 Government Street. If you have a big gathering or work event coming up, give the crowd something you know they will love. Tacos from Government Taco. They offer pickup, delivery, and full-service catering. Choose from proteins including the spicy and sweet smoked chicken, smoked pulled pork, or the sweet and savory chili rub ground beef. Then sides like charred tomatillo salsa, a roasted hatch chili queso, and all catering orders come with jack cheese, pickled red onions, and flour or corn tortillas.
Don't have time for a new rash?
I don't have time for this.
We're here to help with convenient virtual visits on your computer or any mobile device. If you don't have time to be sick, feel better faster with Lake Urgent Care and Lake After Hours.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps are held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
When is a taco more than just a taco? When it's Government Taco. Voted best tacos 3 years in a row by 225 Magazine, Government Taco puts the most delicious spin on tacos the capital area has ever seen. With creative combinations like the Magna Carrot, the Filibuster, or the Steak of the Union. Plus perfect tortilla chips paired with the best salsa and queso you've ever had. And happy hour every day from 3 to 6 p.m. and all day on Thursday. Government Taco, 5621 Government Street.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Scooncha fall in the air. Fall is right around the corner, which means fall fishing is, which means it's time for you to take your boat to the next level with front-to-back boat service in a bunch of different ways. You want a custom stair job, you can have a ton of fun out there on the water. They can do that. What about a spot lock trolling motor? So you stay right where you need to in casting lines. Or sonar that's let you see the fish under the water before you cast. All of your maintenance needs as well. For 38 years, they've been at it and will continue to do so. The Sherman family of front-to-back boat service.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Want more customers? Running Boards Marketing can help you get their attention. Imagine your brand's message on a giant LED billboard truck that can't be skipped and is nearly impossible to ignore. Running Boards Marketing is the leader in effective and affordable advertising on digital mobile billboards, which are 2 times more effective than traditional billboards. With a 97% recall rate, you'll leave a lasting impression with your customers. Visit us online at runningboardsmarketing.com so we can drive your message to where the people are.
The best kept secret in town is out. Discover Tallulah at the Renaissance Hotel on Bluebonnet.
Follow us on Twitter at 1045ESPN to cast your vote in the Citizens Bank and Trust Poll of the Day. Vote daily inside Off the Bench, live at lunch on Palmer. And after further review, Citizens Bank and Trust brings you the Poll of the Day via Twitter at 1045ESPN.
At Corbell Toyota in Opelousas, you can lease a new Toyota 4Runner for $489 per month. That's right.
Back to Louisiana Prep Scoreboard with Cade, Todd, and Jimmy. Presented by Lake Urgent Care on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge. The Capital City Scoreboard. Presented by Lake Urgent Care.
Parkview 52, Dunham 46. Bruley and Port Allen ends in a 13-13 tie. De La Salle 27, Central 20. Mandeville 48, Denham Springs 7. St. Michael over Episcopal 27-24. Estruma over Capital 43-6. West Feliciana is a 34-22 winner over East Feliciana. And Santa Maria 45, George Washington Carver 20.
The New Orleans Bayou Scoreboard. Served by Walk-Ons.
St. Charles over Shaw 17-10. Newman defeats Hanville 41-21. East St. John and St. James are still in the fourth quarter. E. White's a 52-14 winner over Vanderbilt Catholic. McDonough 35 and St. Aug will play tomorrow night. Ascension Catholic 45, West St. John 0. Lutcher a 23-0 winner over Thibodeau. And Edna Carr 33, LB Landry 0.
The Acadiana Scoreboard. Pumped by Peak Performance.
Lafayette Christian 61, Acadiana 38. Kinders a 46-28 winner over Welsh. Kaplan 18, North Vermilion 14. Sam Houston defeats Manny 47-10. Carencro 46, Alexandria 26. St. Thomas More defeats Como 45-6. Iota a 21-14 winner over Iowa. And Vermilion Catholic 26, Catholic New Iberia 14.
The North and Central Louisiana Scoreboard. Insured by State Farm.
Neville, a point better than Evangel, 30-29. Airline over North DeSoto, 53-42. Gina, 34. Mangum, 32. Warren Easton over Ruston, 20-19. West Monroe defeats Sterlington, 14-3. Calvary Baptist, 47. Logansport, 12. Ouachita, a 21-20 winner over Rummel. And Parkway, 43. Minden, 41.
The North Shore Scoreboard. Restored by Brock, the Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic.
Covington, a 34-18 winner over John Ehret. Riverside defeats St. Thomas Aquinas, 55-18. Jesuit shuts out Slidell, 10-0. Ponchatoula over Walker, 20-15. Dutchtown, a 35-16 winner over North Shore. Bogalusa over Franklinton, 36-31. St. Paul's defeats West Jefferson, 49-6. And Fontainebleau, 24. Lakeshore, 0.
Thank you, Skip. Cade Wazan, Todd Black, Jimmy Roy here for Louisiana Prep Scoreboard, presented by Lake Urgent Care. Week 1, after talking with Jake Martin from up in North Louisiana and getting the thoughts and feelings around the West Monroe campus. I guess Coach survives to coach again in Week 2 after all the pressure he felt. He said people were already after him quite a bit. They get a Week 1 win. I know expectations are always high for that kind of school and for that program. So, interesting among the list of new coaches how they're going to do.
Ruston beat West Monroe 14-0 is what Cade's referring to, but what, in my opinion, is even a more impressive win is Warren Easton's not eligible for the playoffs, but Coach Jerry Phillips has his guys ready to play.
Yeah.
They go up to Ruston for the second year in a row and win. What was last year? About a 1-point game, too, wasn't it?
It was an overtime. They were down like 19-6 in that game. I think 25-19 maybe, I think, in overtime.
It was 20-19 as
25-19 in overtime.
They're gonna spoil a lot of team seasons this year.
Yes, they are.
Great football.
You question. I don't want to question him because they are successful, but and I didn't see the game yet, but I will get details on it. I don't know if Ruston opens it up enough against the good teams.
Well,
kind of like Les Miles.
The comment I did see was that they've got a very good running back. They just need something to complement him.
Correct.
Yep.
And as much as they pound the football, as much as they run it, play action and things like that, and they have a quarterback 6'3" over there. He's a junior. He's a new starter for him. But man, they have the ability to throw it. They had the ability last year to throw it. They just refused to throw it. Teams will come down and put 11 in the box, play zero cover on top of them, and they're still dead set on running the football against 11 people in the box. It's kind of like
3 yards in a cloud of dust.
Like Les Miles did. And most of the time it works. But when you play a team like Destrehan or a Warren Easton or a Carr or somebody like that, you're going to struggle with it.
Mm-hmm.
But, Josh Brantley, he's in his first year, 6'3" starter. One thing that Warren Easton has, they have running backs by committee. They got Fred Robinson. He's a returning All-Stater, over 2,000 yards. Thomas Vaughn, a sophomore. Mathis Lee is a senior, and Terrell Sertan, a sophomore. Greg Donaldson's back at quarterback. Warren Easton's really good. You got to remember, they were the number 1 seed in 5A or Division I Select last year, and now they're ineligible for the playoffs.
Congratulations to Michael Dempsey, Coach Sid Edwards, and Estruma.
Yes.
Getting a win in week 1. We talked about, look, now it's for real. You got to go out there. You got to shake off all the 24 hours or maybe 48 hours in a barbecue meal, but you got to shake it off and you get ready for week 1. And these guys came out and took care of business against Capital.
Well, Jimmy, learning to win is one thing, but learning how to win is another. And it seemed like that they did a pretty good job in transitioning into this game week 1.
He even admitted it was kind of lazy the first couple of days. People don't realize how big it is now. The thing that makes me question it, Scotlandville goes over to Ocean Springs today and gets beat, 47-0 or something like that? Yeah, it was.
I don't think you should question it just because of the situation. Yeah,
right.
You know what I mean?
Ocean Springs, I don't know how good they are. I know it's a growing area. It's a nice place. Central actually went there in high school when my son was playing. Really good place to go play, but I thought more. Scotlandville's in for a long year, the way it looks with their schedule, because they play a tough one.
Look, and Capital didn't get their coach until late. So because Keith or whoever was there, now Keith Woods is there, I believe.
I think so.
Yep.
Lots of scores coming in as we are trying to update our ticker. And if you're watching on the bottom of the screen on your view or 104.5 ESPN's YouTube channel, you get a complete week 1 score or a complete scoreboard throughout the season. Every week, that scrolling ticker on the bottom of your screen will give you every score from every game played tonight. We highlight a couple on our kind of television segments, but we give you all of them on that ticker, and there's a lot of them that are very impressive. Lafayette Christian, I think I've noted, with 61 points, maybe the highest total tonight.
Yeah.
No,
it's not the highest.
Okay. Lake Charles College Prep
put up 75.
Okay.
Against Magnolia.
Yeah, but Juwan Johnson.
Sophie Wright got a win.
They did.
Juwan Johnson, the LSU commit over from Lafayette Christian, put up a phenomenal performance, and that came against Acadiana. And, yeah, they put up 61 points, and he had 8 touchdowns.
Incredible. Here's some teams from North Louisiana to keep your eye on. Evangel, they've improved steadily over the last couple of years.
They've had a couple of rough years.
We'll talk about that one.
And Gina, who beat Ouachita Christian last week, turned around and beat another good team in Mangum. But Gina is, I believe, 3A, but still.
Gina beat Ouachita Christian.
Was in the Jamboree.
Mm-hmm.
And beat them pretty handily. And then
Oak Grove up north, if you want to talk about it.
And Oak Grove beat Opelousas Catholic pretty sound as well. And Opelousas Catholic traditionally is a very good team.
Lots more to get to. We'll take a timeout and be right back more here on the Week 1 edition of the Louisiana Prep Scoreboard Show, presented by Lake Urgent Care on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge and Your View.
Mom, what's for breakfast?
Don't have time for a cold? A cut? Those allergies? Or a sprain?
I really don't have time for this.
Lake Urgent Care is here to help with easy, convenient online check-in, virtual visits, or walk-in care. Plus, we're kid-friendly and open 7 days a week, including holidays and weekends. When you don't have the time to be sick or hurt, feel better faster at Lake Urgent Care and Lake After Hours.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
When is a taco more than just a taco? When it's Government Taco. Voted best tacos 3 years in a row by 225 Magazine, Government Taco puts the most delicious spin on tacos the capital area has ever seen. With creative combinations like the Magna Carrot, the Filibuster, or the Steak of the Union. Plus perfect tortilla chips paired with the best salsa and queso you've ever had. And happy hour every day from 3 to 6 p.m. and all day on Thursday. Government Taco, 5621 Government Street.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Scooncha fall in the air. Fall is right around the corner, which means fall fishing is, which means it's time for you to take your boat to the next level with front-to-back boat service in a bunch of different ways. You want a custom stair job, you can have a ton of fun out there on the water. They can do that. What about a spot lock trolling motor? So you stay right where you need to in casting lines. Or sonar that's let you see the fish under the water before you cast. All of your maintenance needs as well. For 38 years, they've been at it and will continue to do so. The Sherman family of front-to-back boat service.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Want more customers? Running Boards Marketing can help you get their attention. Imagine your brand's message on a giant LED billboard truck that can't be skipped and is nearly impossible to ignore. Running Boards Marketing is the leader in effective and affordable advertising on digital mobile billboards, which are 2 times more effective than traditional billboards. With a 97% recall rate, you'll leave a lasting impression with your customers. Visit us online at runningboardsmarketing.com so we can drive your message to where the people are.
The best kept secret in town is out. Discover Tallulah at the Renaissance Hotel on Bluebonnet.
Step inside an Infiniti QX50, and you'll find a suite of driver-focused features tailored to your taste.
Coach Devin Ducote from West Feliciana High School, and you're listening to Louisiana Prep Scoreboard on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
The Capital City Scoreboard, presented by Lake Urgent Care.
Parkview 52-46 winner over Dunham. Bruley and Port Allen ends in a 13-13 tie. De La Salle 27-20 winner over Central. Mandeville 48, Denham Springs 7. St. Michael 27-24 winner over Episcopal. Struma defeats Capital 43-6. West Feliciana defeats East Feliciana 34-22. And Santa Maria 45, GW Carver 20.
The New Orleans Bayou Scoreboard, served by walk-ons.
St. Charles defeats Shaw 17-10. Newman over Hanville 41-21. East St. John is up late. Edie White 52. Vanderbilt Catholic 14. McDonough 35 and St. Aug will play tomorrow night. Ascension Catholic shuts out West St. John 45-0. Lutcher blanks Thibodeau 23-0. And Carr shuts out LB Landry 33-0.
The Acadiana Scoreboard, pumped by Peak Performance.
Lafayette Christian defeats Acadiana 61-38. Kinder is a 46-28 winner over Welsh. Kaplan 18, North Vermilion 14. Sam Houston defeats Manny 47-10. Karen Crow 46, Alexandria 26. St. Thomas More defeats Como 45-6. Iota a 21-14 winner over Iowa. And Vermilion Catholic 26, Catholic New Iberia 14.
The North and Central Louisiana Scoreboard, insured by State Farm.
Neville a 30-29 winner over Evangel. Airline defeats North DeSoto 53-42. Gina 34, Mangum 32. Warren Easton defeats Ruston 20-19. West Monroe over Sterlington 14-3. Calvary Baptist defeats Logansport 47-12. Ouachita only better than Rummel 21-20. And Parkway 43, Minden 41.
The North Shore Scoreboard, restored by Brock, the Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic.
Covington, a 34-18 winner over John Errett. Riverside, 55, St. Thomas Aquinas, 18. Jesuit blanks Slidell, 10-0. Ponchatoula, 20-15 winner over Walker. Dutchtown, 35, North Shore, 16. Bogalusa, 36-31 winner over Franklinton. St. Paul's defeats West Jefferson 49-6, and Fontainebleau blanks Lakeshore 24-0.
Thank you, Skip, getting our scores tonight. You can also follow us on Twitter at Louisiana Prep to get caught up on scores. And for anything you didn't hear in our scoreboard updates, you can follow us on Twitter, as I said, at Louisiana Prep, or if you're watching on the 104.5 ESPN YouTube channel or on your view, on the bottom of the screen, there's a ticker, scores from all around the state will be there tonight. So efforting a couple of coaches here, as we tend to do. All right, we'll go ahead and bring on head coach of the Zachary Broncos, Coach David Brewerton, for the first time this season. Coach Brew, thanks so much for joining us here on the Scoreboard Show.
Hey, thank you guys for having us. We appreciate it.
Coach, congratulations on the win, and take us through it. I know you jumped out to a 24-0 lead, held on, I think, 24-7. Take us through the game.
Yeah. Looked really sloppy in the first quarter, 0-0 going in the second quarter. And then we scored on 3 straight possessions going into half to go up 17-0. And then I think we scored right towards the end of the third quarter to go up 24. And I think we had a punt block with about, 3 minutes to go in the game, and they punched one in after that. So, sometimes the hard place to go in and play there at EA. Their student section and band does a tremendous job when you get down there on the goal line. And we were inside the 5 twice and didn't score with multiple offsides. Just couldn't hear anything, and we got to fix those things up, no doubt.
Coach Brew, Todd here. Congratulations. What is the strength of your team, or you hope to be the strength of your team this year?
Yeah, I think that of a really experienced offensive line that brings back a bunch of guys, and we could really run on defense, and that's going to be the biggest thing for us, is trying to make sure that we're using speed and athleticism on defense, and then on the offensive side, a stable of running backs are pretty good, and we got some receivers that are really good. So I think we can be balanced on offense kind of give people some problems.
Coach, going back to when Keelan Brown was a freshman, Alex Milazzo was a sophomore. This is the first time in your, other than that situation there, and it worked out both for one of them. One's a national championship, and Keelan went and played football and baseball in college, so it worked out great for both of those guys. But you have a ballot quarterback this year, a little competition going on. It seems to be going one way more than the other. I don't want to put words in your mouth at all, because just from the reports I got tonight, how's that battle playing out between your senior Hudson Spangler and your junior Caleb Gonzalez?
Well, I think both of them, we've spent a ton of time with equal reps since spring ball started, and so when you do that, they're both getting a lot of reps with the one day in and day out. So, to be honest with you, we've just been waiting for one to separate, and sometimes it comes down to how your football team's playing at certain times when certain guys are in there, and if one doesn't clearly separate themselves, then you got to go by that, and so I thought Coach Langlois did a good job tonight of kind of mixing in, and when one of them, we got rolling a little bit when one of them was in there, so he left him in there for a while until we could get some things going, and I think that what's a little bit maybe different in that situation is those guys are fierce competitors. They've been competing with each other since early May, but you'll also see them talking a lot about what's going on out on the field and how we need to handle certain situations. So I'm certainly proud of the way both of them have handled this whole thing.
Coach, I think I put something out here probably near the first of the season that some of the toughest schedules out there, Ouachita, Ruston, East Ascension, and I had you guys out there as well. What's that?
I don't know if they got as tough a schedule as they used to have.
Why's that?
Well, Curtis backed out on them next week. I'm just telling it like it is.
For real?
For real. Coach, can you elaborate on that a little bit? I know I'd probably go a little deeper than you may want to, but what can you tell us about that situation?
Well, I think, we put a contract together a couple of years ago for them to come to us twice. And, we played the first part of that contract last year. And then apparently they've secured a venue for some Friday night games down in New Orleans and asked me to change our game to go down there. They called me in May about that, and I told them I really wasn't interested in doing that. And the next thing you know, their schedule came out and had us listed as a home game. And hey, I don't know. Maybe there's some miscommunication there. I don't know, but that game will not be taking place next week.
I'm really surprised. I'm really surprised that Curtis didn't honor the contract, because they've always went everywhere. They're used to going 2 years in a row somewhere. They've been to West Monroe. They've been to Parkview right here back when Kenny Guiot and them and Jay Maye and all those guys were there. So it's something that there is common for them to do. I do know this. I do know Zachary was willing to go there and rotate years next year, do home and home, and it just really surprised me. Here's the problem I have with it. It's the kids that get hurt. They only have 10 playable dates. Zachary had an open date week 4. They were fortunate to fill that, so they're still going to have a 9-game schedule. But if Coach Brew has 100 kids and let's say 10 signs, 90 kids are not going to play college games. This is their last 10 games, hopefully 15 of their career. And those kids get cheated a game. Mm-hmm. And the fans get cheated. The parents get cheated watching their kids compete in a game.
Against one of the best.
Yes.
Right. Yeah.
I didn't get it. I'm totally shocked when I found out tonight. I got a text from someone that said that game has been canceled. I knew it was in the works of it, but I was just really shocked because I did think Curtis would come through.
Well, man, congratulations on your big win tonight anyway against East Ascension 24-7. And, East Ascension's always tough, like it says. And Darnell doesn't do himself any favors by playing out the schedule he does. So, but he hopes to get better just like you do, Coach Brew, as the season progresses, and we wish you the best of luck.
Thank you, guys, man. We certainly appreciate it.
I thank Coach Brew.
All right.
That's interesting. That's
it's shocking to me.
You don't think it's an easier path to get the last 6 wins of that record, huh?
No, they've never shied away from that.
That's the thing.
I know.
They have never backed down from anyone, anywhere,
makes it
anytime,
odd,
any play. It don't matter. It's a weird situation.
I wonder if Zachary offered him any cash or anything.
They offered him
like in the contract.
Yeah, they offered feeding the team, and they were paid cash or paid a check for coming. They almost doubled what they originally agreed to try to get him to come here, which was a significant amount of money.
I tell you what,
and feed the team and play at 6:30, so Coach Curtis, out of respect to him, could get back to New Orleans to do.
I
his,
can attest
his
the meal
show.
alone is worth it.
Well, I could say, I'm the new scheduler for West Side,
right?
So I think I'm going to take that thing to my boss, Coach Josh, and see if he'll take some food and cash.
They beat Ocean Springs tonight.
Ooh, they?
Yeah.
Was it their B team?
I don't know. I'll have to find
I
out.
bet they beat their A team. Scotlandville played their B team.
Yeah.
When you're speaking about Zachary High School and you're roaming the sidelines, you're probably going to spot our friend Scott Nielsen out there.
Yep.
And if you do, and you're in need of some apparel, some footwear, you need some uniforms, you need the equipment,
footballs.
There's one website you go to, bsnsports.com, and Scott, the shirts, the quarter zips, all the outfits we wear throughout the season, not only us, but they outfit your team at whatever level, and they got the brands you know and love. For Ryan and I, I'm sure they got kits out there, right? You got the kits, but you got everything.
What you talking about, soccer?
Yeah, soccer term.
Kits. What the hell's
It
that?
went
I
right
thought
above
he
his
said
head.
kilt. At first, I was gonna say him and Ryan. I can see him and Ryan in a kilt going to a soccer game.
with their phony.
Yeah. Well, but the bottom line is bsnsports.com. It is the absolute best, and we appreciate that partnership. I mean, I tell you what, we roam the sidelines, and we get compliments on the outfits. And look, whatever, like I said, whatever your team needs, it could be from the bats and balls to the shirts, the pads, everything. It's a one-stop shop, and you got great local representation. So let's take a time out. When we get back, we'll have more of this week one edition of the Louisiana Prep Scoreboard Show, presented by Lake Urgent Care on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge and Your View.
Do you think you have COVID-19?
I'm worried I may have COVID.
We're open 7 days a week for both rapid COVID and antibody testing. Life is busy. You don't have time. Get your results fast at Lake Urgent Care and Lake After Hours.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
When is a taco more than just a taco? When it's Government Taco. Voted best tacos 3 years in a row by 225 Magazine, Government Taco puts the most delicious spin on tacos the capital area has ever seen. With creative combinations like the Magna Carrot, the Filibuster, or the Steak of the Union. Plus perfect tortilla chips paired with the best salsa and queso you've ever had. And happy hour every day from 3 to 6 p.m. and all day on Thursday. Government Taco, 5621 Government Street.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Scooncha, fall in the air. Fall is right around the corner, which means fall fishing is, which means it's time for you to take your boat to the next level with front-to-back boat service in a bunch of different ways. You want a custom stair job, you can have a ton of fun out there on the water, they can do that. What about a spot lock trolling motor? So you stay right where you need to in casting lines, or sonar that's let you see the fish under the water before you cast. All of your maintenance needs as well. For 38 years, they've been at it and will continue to do so. The Sherman family of Front to Back Boat Service.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Want more customers? Running Boards Marketing can help you get their attention. Imagine your brand's message on a giant LED billboard truck that can't be skipped and is nearly impossible to ignore. Running Boards Marketing is the leader in effective and affordable advertising on digital mobile billboards, which are 2 times more effective than traditional billboards. With a 97% recall rate, you'll leave a lasting impression with your customers. Visit us online at runningboardsmarketing.com so we can drive your message to where the people are.
The best kept secret in town is out. Discover Tallulah at the Renaissance Hotel on Bluebonnet.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
Follow us on Twitter at 1045ESPN to cast your vote in the Citizens Bank and Trust poll of the day. Vote daily inside Off the Bench. Live prep football from Carr to Karen Crow. Louisiana Prep Scoreboard with Cade, Todd, and Jimmy. Presented by Lake Urgent Care on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge. The Capital City Scoreboard. Presented by Lake Urgent Care.
Parkview a 52-46 winner over Dunham. Bruley and Port Allen a 13-13 tie. De La Salle 27, Central 20. Mandeville defeats Denham Springs 48-7. St. Michael 27-24 winner over Episcopal. Struma over Capital 43-6. West Feliciana defeats East Feliciana 34-22. Sandomal over GW Carver 45-20.
The New Orleans Bayou Scoreboard, served by walk-ons.
St. Charles 17, Archbishop Shaw 10. Newman 41, Hanville 21. East St. John was a 41-40 winner over St. James. Edie White defeats Vanderbilt Catholic 52-14. McDonald 35 and St. Aug will play tomorrow night. Ascension Catholic shuts out West St. John 45-0. Lutcher blanks Thibodeau 23-0. And Carr 33. LB Landry 0.
The Acadiana Scoreboard, pumped by Peak Performance.
Lafayette Christian 61, Acadiana 38. Kinder 46, Welsh 28. Kaplan defeats North Vermilion 18-14. Sam Houston over Manny 47-10. Karen Crow 46, Alexandria 26. St. Thomas More 45, Como 6. Iota defeats Iowa 21-14. Vermilion Catholic 26, Catholic New Iberia 14.
The North and Central Louisiana Scoreboard, insured by State Farm.
Neville over Evangel 30-29. Airline 53-42 winner over North DeSoto. Gina 2 points better than Mangum 34-32. Warren Easton over Ruston 20-19. West Monroe 14, Sterlington 3. Calvary Baptist defeats Logansport 47-12. Ouachita beats Archbishop Rummel 21-20. Parkway 43, Minden 41.
The North Shore Scoreboard, restored by Brock, the Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic.
Covington over John Ehret 34-18. Riverside a 55-18 winner over St. Thomas Aquinas. Jesuit shuts out Slidell 10-0. Ponchatoula 20-15 winner over Walker. Touchdown over North Shore 35-16. Bogalusa 36-31 winner over Franklinton. St. Paul defeats West Jefferson 49-6. And Fountainblue 24, Lakeshore 0.
You know, in the midst of congratulating Coach Brew on the win over Zachary, you got a member of his staff that deserves some congratulations as well.
Absolutely. Drew Nettles, former Denham Springs coach, very successful coach, I may add there, but also a heck of a football player and baseball player. Went on and played baseball at Southeastern, caught the famous Ben McDonald back in his days over there, All-State in both sports, was inducted into the Denham Springs High School Hall of Fame last night. Drew's a very good friend of Todd and myself. Used to hang out all the time and was actually hanging out with him a couple of weeks ago at his stepson's wedding. So congratulations, Coach Nettles.
Well deserved.
Well deserved. Absolutely.
Right. On both ends, right? As a coach and as a player. Spent a lot of years there giving back to his community. Fought a really tough time in 2016 with the flood and had a tremendous year. And, things happen for a reason, and he's over at Zachary. And
in a better situation.
In a better situation, that's right.
No doubt.
Let's go ahead and get to our walk-ons game of the week tonight. It featured Parkview Baptist and Dunham, and Jimmy was there to take in the action at least through the first half, and we saw the final result.
Track meet broke out, man. I mean, this thing was nonstop. First, I want to mention pregame that they had a tribute for Kyle Ripple, who was a 2001 graduated at Parkview, who passed away, and his parents, Dr. Steve Ripple, the Ripple family, everyone knows them in Baton Rouge, donated a video scoreboard, and they had a video about Kyle before the game. I thought that was really, really nice to see. This game, like I said, first half was a track meet. It ended up at half 32-20. There was one forced punt, and that came in the sixth possession of the game where Dunham was forced to punt.
You ran out of ink, brother.
I did. I mean, it was starting the second, third, and fourth series, there were 7 plays ran and 3 touchdowns. The first quarter offense, Parkview's offense, I thought, or really the first half, probably turned out to be the difference in the game. Parkview's offensive line and running back and quarterback was way more physical than Dunham was tonight. And last year, you go back and look, and Dunham lost a lot, and Dunham is very young this year. But they were so physical in the games, like they matched you high.
Yeah.
You know, the games that we saw them play, they just weren't as physical as Parkview was. Parkview's pretty big up front. But, yeah, it was a good game. Their quarterback, Abram Johnson, had a good night for Parkview. Number 7, his name's slipping my mind right now. Let's see if I have it.
Abram's a very good quarterback, and the only thing that's probably keeping him from being more recruited is his height. You know how they look at those measurables, right?
Abram Johnson, yeah.
He's a good
he's a good player.
Yes, he
Caden
is.
Toured, I think is how you say it, had a good night for him also. Elijah Haven, again, I'm going to go on about this kid. You're going to hear it for 4 years because he's 6'4", 195. He's not sitting in the pocket like a statue. He's a heck of an athlete. He made some nice runs, scored on a 21-yard run, had another 25-yard run. When he puts on 30 pounds, which he's going to before, and he's 6'5", 6'6", 220, 230, he's going to be an All-American.
Let me help you. He's close to 400 yards passing with 5 touchdowns, and then another 100 yards rushing with 2 touchdowns. Was Elijah.
Elijah tonight.
Yeah.
Before we get out of here, I want to give you a chance to get to know our friends at Total Diamond Performance. Coach Black?
We do. They have Matt Mistretta, Matt at TDP Baseball, has phase 1 and phase 2. The thing about TDP is they respect the two-sport athletes, and they try to do everything to accommodate the two-sport athletes. They have 2 phases coming up. Phase 1 starts on September 25th through October 20th. That's 4 weeks. And then phase 2 starts October 23rd and goes through November 19th. Call Matt Mistretta, Matt at TDPBaseball.com. That's Total Diamond Performance. Those guys are great, and I can speak here for long time on them, but you won't be disappointed if you get.
Don't have time for a stomach virus?
I don't have time to be sick today.
When you're sick after hours or weekends, you don't have time to wait around. Save time and money and feel better faster with Lake Urgent Care and Lake After Hours.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
When is a taco more than just a taco? When it's Government Taco. Voted best tacos 3 years in a row by 225 Magazine, Government Taco puts the most delicious spin on tacos the capital area has ever seen. With creative combinations like the Magna Carrot, the Filibuster, or the Steak of the Union. Plus perfect tortilla chips paired with the best salsa and queso you've ever had. And happy hour every day from 3 to 6 p.m. and all day on Thursday. Government Taco, 5621 Government Street.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Scooncha fall in the air. Fall is right around the corner, which means fall fishing is, which means it's time for you to take your boat to the next level with front-to-back boat service in a bunch of different ways. You want a custom stair job, you can have a ton of fun out there on the water, they can do that. What about a spot lock trolling motor? So you stay right where you need to in casting lines, or sonar that's let you see the fish under the water before you cast. All of your maintenance needs as well. For 38 years, they've been at it and will continue to do so. The Sherman family of front-to-back boat service.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
The best kept secret in town is out. Discover Tallulah at the Renaissance Hotel on Bluebonnet.
Don't have time for a trampoline injury? We don't have time for this today. We're here with online check-in so you can wait from anywhere. Plus, on-site digital x-rays. If you don't have time to be hurt, feel better faster with Lake Urgent Care and Lake After Hours.
Want more customers? Running Boards Marketing can help you get their attention. Imagine your brand's message on a giant LED billboard truck that can't be skipped and is nearly impossible to ignore. Running Boards Marketing is the leader in effective and affordable advertising on digital mobile billboards, which are 2 times more effective than traditional billboards. With a 97% recall rate, you'll leave a lasting impression with your customers. Visit us online at runningboardsmarketing.com so we can drive your message to where the people are.
At Corvell Toyota in Opelousas, you can lease a new Toyota 4Runner for $489 per month. That's right, you can get a brand new Toyota 4Runner for only $489 per month. So come on down to Happy Town. That's Corvell Toyota in Opelousas, Happy Town, USA.
The Louisiana Prep Scoreboard Show, presented by Lake Urgent Care on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge. From the Jamborees to the Superdome, your source for the most up-to-date scores and stats is right here. Now, live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studio, here's Todd Black, Jimmy Roy, and Cade Wazan.
Welcome back to Phase 2 of tonight's show. Louisiana Prep Scoreboard presented by Lake Urgent Care, Cade Wazan, Todd Black, and Jimmy Roy. Ryan Kennedy on the audio tonight, Casey Gaines on our video, and Skip Cottrell gathering our scores. Find a complete list of scores from around the state if you're watching on YourView or the 104.5 ESPN YouTube channel on the ticker. Scrolling on the bottom of the screen, we'll highlight a couple throughout the night on air. And you can follow them on Twitter, or X, I guess, at Louisiana Prep. And we're good to go. So we're going to jump on the hotline again, and we are joined by another victorious head coach, this time from over at Airline. They get the win over North DeSoto tonight. Coach Justin Scoggin. Coach, good to have you back on the show.
Hey, man, appreciate y'all for having me.
Coach Scoggin, this one was a wild one tonight, huh?
Oh, my goodness. There's not many words to describe, this one.
I'm going to go back to last year. North DeSoto won this game in week 1, 46-21. Airline lost their first 3 games of the year and then won 7 straight of regular season games. This game, if my notes are correct, you were down 28-14 in the third quarter. You scored 4 touchdowns in an 8-minute span and forced 4 straight turnovers by North DeSoto. Is that correct?
Something like that. I was telling somebody after the game, I was like, I don't really know how it happened. I just remember looking up at one point saying, wait, we're up 34-28. And, from there, we kind of started to, get rolling. I didn't make any plays. The kids decided, at halftime, like, hey, we're not doing this again. And, I challenged them. We all challenged them at halftime, because we've talked a lot about mental toughness in the off season. And, we told them, man, they were the aggressor coming out. They punched us in the mouth. They were taking it to us in the first half. And I said, you have 24 minutes to fix it. And I think they did a pretty good job.
2 really good quarterbacks in this one. Ben Taylor, your quarterback, over 3,000 yards last year, 37 touchdowns. And then Luke Delafield on North DeSoto side was phenomenal last year as a freshman. He's a sophomore now. Did those 2 live up to their hype?
100%. I really enjoy watching him. He's got chemistry with all those guys. I really thought he was a good quarterback coming into tonight. But I've kind of changed my mind. I think he's great. I think he's, the second best quarterback up here behind mine. But mine is, like I was telling somebody earlier, he last year he would have hung his head a little bit. And, last year he just had this look. He was phenomenal last year, but, when things would go wrong and he would make bad, or he would just come with his eyes wide open and, just kind of looking to me like, hey, help me out here. Tonight, I kind of almost felt like it was the other way, like I'm saying, hey, what do you want to run? And he's like, Coach, whatever you call it, just go, I got faith in you. Just go call a play.
Well, let me ask you this. He's a senior this year?
No, he's a junior.
He's a junior. Okay. So Todd and I have this belief, and we've talked about it on here.
And it's fact if we have that belief.
When a quarterback hits that 20-game mark of starting, they're different players because they've about seen everything they're going to see. So he's going to hit that here shortly because you did go into the playoffs. You played 11 games. You're going to hit it.
He started 2 as a freshman, and we played, 11 last year. So this was probably his 14th start, I think.
Okay, so yeah.
And he had 37 touchdowns last year?
Yeah.
I think I don't know that he didn't
ever
see
but
it.
just watch and listening to coach.
And that's the crazy thing. I mean, there was a noticeable difference in his demeanor tonight, almost to the point where it kept me calm. When things were going bad. I mean, it was that much of a difference of kind of the maturity and the mental toughness and all that from him tonight. I have no idea why he doesn't have 30 offers right now. I mean, he's just he's everything you want and need in a quarterback.
Do you feel when you get that, look from your quarterback that obviously when they're younger, you want to try to protect them a little bit, give them some easy throws, but there's that point in time that you say, okay, now I can throw that 15-yard out or the skinny post about 18 yards, that type thing.
I can tell you, we ran almost everything in our playbook tonight. We ran the trick plays and but when it really counted, we went back and ran our base offense. And and he was when I tell you he was spot on, man, he was spot on. He took some big hits and never wavered.
What kind of night did Trey Jackson have for you?
So Trey got knocked out in the second quarter.
Oh.
He got helmet to helmet, and he came out, and they reevaluated him at halftime. He was when he got hit, he got up fairly quick, and but I mean there's always a chance concussion. they cleared him in the second quarter, and we waited till halftime, and we went in at halftime, and he was they reevaluated. He was good to go. So he came out in the second half, and we tried to get him some easy stuff to kind of get him going. And before you knew it, we ran a rail, and he caught the touchdown. And then all of a sudden, it was like, okay, well. And then we run a trick play, and he throws a 60-yard touchdown to our receiver, and it's like, okay, well, Trey's good.
So,
It's just that kid is just a big play waiting to happen.
And he's a true threat as a running back and a receiver out of the backfield.
Yeah, and that was his third touchdown pass in 12 games.
So let me ask you this, because we're stuck on offense, but obviously when you are up or down that much, you need big stops from your defense, and obviously they got them for you. Talk a little bit about those guys and how proud are you of them allowing your offense to get you guys that win tonight.
Yeah, I mean it was almost kind of unfair in the first half because we gave up 28, but we got down to the 6-inch line and fumbled a quarterback sneak on the very first series. We weren't exactly helping them out, and I told our two outside linebackers are two of the best players I've ever coached. And Sincere Walker and Jaden Gladney. And I was like, look, man, if we win this game, it's going to be all because of y'all. And he had, Sincere maybe had 2 sacks, and Gladney had both of the interceptions. Well, he had 2, and then we had a sophomore, Jeremiah Epps, had the other one. But, they were a huge reason that we won tonight.
And doesn't that sound crazy, but it's so true what he's saying. They give up 42 points, but defense helped or won the game. But you think about it, you're down 14, you're in the third quarter, and you force 4 straight turnovers.
I think you're saying that at least 2 of those touchdowns were from the offense's gifts.
Yeah.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, I'm a realist, did we play our best game on defense? Absolutely not. But, just like I told, our linebackers coach and our defense coordinator, I was like, look, we got stops when we had to. When our back was against the wall and they were down on the 30 with a minute and a half to go, and it was 3rd and 9, and they run a fade, and our little sophomore who had got knocked out went back in, cramped up, went back in. He had gone in and out about 3 or 4 different times. He runs with that dude stride for stride and makes just a great over-the-shoulder catch in the end zone, and then has the wherewithal as a 15-year-old kid to pick it off and then just fall down in the end zone and get a touchback. And we're able to, they're out of timeout, so we're able. So I mean, just all the little things. Those were kind of the little things that that really excited me. We're finally a little bit more mentally tough and a little bit smarter.
Well, Coach, we thank you for coming on tonight, and congratulations on the win, and good luck next week.
Likewise. Thank y'all, man. Appreciate y'all having me on.
Oh, absolutely.
Let's stay up north, Todd, real quick. Again, Warren Easton, the winner over Ruston, 20-19. It's 2 years in a row Jerry Phillips and his crew goes up there. West Monroe and Sterlington. West Monroe pulls it out 14-3. We mentioned the pressure that Coach Garvin's been under in his first year. They're ready to fire him after he's shut out by one of the best defenses in the state in Ruston.
Without their starting quarterback.
Right. Hayden Federico, he is back now from Team USA Baseball.
Right.
So he's going to make a difference. They basically, from what I was told, were running 2 different offenses in preseason camp. They're running the offense that they're going to run with Hayden Federico, and then they're running another offense with the other guys in case Hayden didn't make the team. We mentioned Airline, North DeSoto. Let's see who else we have. Rummel Washita.
Washita wins 21-20.
Benji Lewis, first game as the head coach, promoted from defensive coordinator. Zach Johnson's a 3-year starter at quarterback, so that's a huge help. We talk about that 20 game. Cardell Sermons. I don't know what happened to this guy.
He went to Carroll.
But then he left Carroll.
Oh, he did?
Yes, when Brandon Landers resigned or fired or whatever you want to call it, when he resigned.
He went back to Washita?
He left, and I don't know where he is. We're talking about a 1,700-yard rusher. I don't know where he is.
We gave him a $5 gift certificate, and somebody tell us where he's at.
Washita Christian, do you have their score? 17-7 maybe or something like that over Dallas Christian?
Oh, no, I don't.
Dallas Christian was a 4A state champ, had a defensive back committed to Purdue. Washita Christian was a select state champs in Division IV here. Tate Hamby's back, Vanderbilt commit wide receiver defensive back. superb athlete, track and field guy, long jump. I mean, he does it all. High jump. He could play quarterback.
17-14.
17-14. He can throw it. He can run it. Receiver, intercept. I mean, he just does it all for them.
I think the one you got to be also aware of up there is St. Frederick. I think they beat a Menard team last night, but I hear good things about that. And, of course, Coach Robertson always does a good job, and he's a friend of the show as well. But look for those guys to do a good job.
And I'd be remiss not to mention Todd's alma mater won 30-29 in overtime against Evangel. One heck of a game to start the game. That's 2 games Neville's been involved in, counting the jamboree with Sturrington. That was as good a jamboree as you want. This game was as good as you wanted. Neville stopped Evangel's Gabe Relaford. He's a Texas A&M commit on a 2-point try for the win. Neville led 23-9 in the fourth quarter. Evangel responded with a 48-yard touchdown pass from Peyton Fulgham and Parker Fulgham, his brother, and then a 15-yard pass to Tyreek Robinson. Neville scored on their second play in overtime on a 1-yard run by Jalen Nichols. The PAT was good. Evangel scored on their possession on the first play from Fulgham to Fulgham again.
You should have seen that route. That route, you knew they had been working that route for 17 years because it was a fade. It was a pump. It was the craziest route, but it was. I'll have to just show you. I can't explain. I've never seen it before.
Evangel decided to go for 2. They run out their kick team, their shorter player. They call timeout.
Yep.
And coach just felt like they were gassed. And so he said, all right, let's go for 2. Give it to the Texas A&M commit. Stop, 6 inches short. And I thought it was really classy from what the Evangel coach said. He said, we didn't lose the game. Neville won it. I thought that was a pretty classy statement. Just a heck of a game. Evangel's quarterback, Peyton Fulgham, I guess is how you say it, 23 for 37, 317 yards, 4 touchdowns. Brother had 9 receptions, 229 yards.
So our friends up at Neville tell us that Cordell Simmons is at Carroll.
He is at Carroll?
Because I don't know if he could go somewhere else and transfer without being ineligible, right? So I think he probably had to stay there. How he got to Carroll from Washington,
is he playing?
I don't know. Is he playing? We'll get that answer here pretty shortly. But, we're talking to Coach Scoggins about turnovers. Dutchtown won 35-16 tonight. They had 2 turnovers inside of North Shore's 1-yard line. One of them actually, I think, was recovered for a touchdown. So Dutchtown played well. They could have won that game probably by a couple of more scores, but North Shore cut it to 21-16. And then from there, Dutchtown's defense really stood up and played well and kept North Shore off the scoreboard as they win 35-16.
That's what gave St. Michael the edge in the first half against Episcopal. Episcopal had a bobbled snap and then threw a pick towards the end of the first half. And, just as Episcopal had taken the lead, St. Michael's bounced back. And as we saw the result, I think it was like 27-24, they won that game. So early season miscues and things not, quite exact and everyone's not quite sharp. Sometimes gives to the other team who's looking for an edge. Maybe it's just that one mistake you make and comes back to get you a win.
Boy, I tell you what, it make you pull your hair out. Or it makes it turn gray, don't it, Jimmy?
Video proof.
We'll take a timeout. When we get back, we got more to talk about here. This is the Week 1 edition of Louisiana Prep Scoreboard presented by Lake Urgent Care on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge in your view.
Don't have time for a cold? A cut? Those allergies? Or a sprain?
I really don't have time for this.
Lake Urgent Care is here to help with easy, convenient online check-in, virtual visits, or walk-in care. Plus, we're kid-friendly and open 7 days a week, including holidays and weekends. When you don't have the time to be sick or hurt, feel better faster at Lake Urgent Care and Lake After Hours.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
When is a taco more than just a taco? When it's Government Taco. Voted best tacos 3 years in a row by 225 Magazine, Government Taco puts the most delicious spin on tacos the capital area has ever seen. With creative combinations like the Magna Carrot, the Filibuster, or the Steak of the Union. Plus perfect tortilla chips paired with the best salsa and queso you've ever had. And happy hour every day from 3 to 6 p.m. and all day on Thursday. Government Taco, 5621 Government Street.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Scooncha fall in the air. Fall is right around the corner, which means fall fishing is, which means it's time for you to take your boat to the next level with front-to-back boat service in a bunch of different ways. You want a custom stair job, you can have a ton of fun out there on the water. They can do that. What about a spot lock trolling motor? So you stay right where you need to in casting lines. Or sonar that's let you see the fish under the water before you cast. All of your maintenance needs as well. For 38 years, they've been at it and will continue to do so. The Sherman family of front-to-back boat service.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Want more customers? Running Boards Marketing can help you get their attention. Imagine your brand's message on a giant LED billboard truck that can't be skipped and is nearly impossible to ignore. Running Boards Marketing is the leader in effective and affordable advertising on digital mobile billboards, which are 2 times more effective than traditional billboards. With a 97% recall rate, you'll leave a lasting impression with your customers. Visit us online at runningboardsmarketing.com so we can drive your message to where the people are.
The best kept secret in town is out. Discover Tallulah at the Renaissance Hotel on Bluebonnet.
Step inside an Infiniti QX50, and you'll find a suite of driver-focused features,
coaches, and a radio professional. Gee, I wonder who wrote that one. Louisiana Prep Scoreboard with Cade, Todd, and Jimmy. Presented by Lake Urgent Care on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Welcome back to Louisiana Prep Scoreboard Show, presented by Lake Urgent Care. Cade Wazan, Todd Black, and Jimmy Roy. A little late, but we finally got our Akon on.
Akon and Young G.
Solid. We're also tonight on 104.5 ESPN, YouTube, and Your View, and it's time for us to honor our State Farm Student Athlete of the Week. We had a chance to meet this young man on Wednesday night, and I will tell you lots of things to say positive about the senior from Estruma, Michael Dempsey. Wide receiver, defensive back, 3.5 GPA. He's a 3-sport athlete, football, basketball, runs some track, all district in football and basketball. He has a great handshake, and he took notes. He had notes. He wanted to make sure he thanked his fellow seniors on that football team, some of the linemen, the guys that make it happen. Estruma's got a good young man, a good leader. He's a leader by example, as Coach Edwards said. So really a pleasure meeting him and having him on the show on Wednesday night. Here's Michael Dempsey from Estruma, our first State Farm Student Athlete of the Week for the season.
And thank you to Byron Gill, Mitch Mueller, Brian Moe, and Drew Dillio, agents with State Farms locally here in the Baton Rouge area. So if you have any questions or calls or need anything, give them a call.
Let's look at some Baton Rouge matchups, and we'll start first with one of the new changes. I say changes. I mean, it's a coach that's been there, but in a different capacity. Over at Central High School, you got Coach David Semino, who is now the head coach. He was there on a staff previously, an assistant, but now the head coach. They took on De La Salle tonight, and De La Salle came away with the win.
I think Coach Semino surprised a lot of people leaving Cadillac High to go to Central, and he was able to bring in Anthony Camp from Louisiana Tech as a defensive coordinator. That was a good hire by Coach Semino. But
was it Catholic High, right?
He was at Catholic High at one time, yes.
Yeah.
Parkview
before that.
Correct.
But I was kind of surprised by this score. De La Salle is a good team. It's an upgrade in scheduling for Central. Wasn't the kind of start that Coach Semino wanted to get off to, but let's give credit to De La Salle, Graham Jarrett. Their offensive line was their strength last year. They love to run the football. They've had back-to-back running backs who are really good. P.J. Martin from last year, and before that, Montrell Johnson, who's at Florida now, went to UL and then ended up transferring to Florida. But their offensive line, again, was their strength last year. This year, they're very, very young. They're playing one senior, one junior, two sophomores, and a freshman. So they're all new guys up front. Defense is supposed to be really strong. Central got a late touchdown pass to close the gap, make it 27-20. And I think I read on Twitter somewhere they scored on a trick play for their first time. So they're struggling a little bit offensively right now. But this is a really good win for De La Salle to come in here. I'm sure they had a standing room only crowd out at Central. So congratulations to Coach Jarrett and De La Salle. De La Salle's won 11 straight regular season games. They were 10-0 last year in the regular season. So.
I think De La Salle intercepted Central's quarterback Jackson Furman there towards the end to
they did. They had an interception
Yep.
to seal the game. They sure did.
One of the top teams locally in 1A gets a shutout win over Liberty Southern Lab 32-0 on Thursday night action, as well as U-High, a big win over Woodlawn 40-6.
Yeah, U-High won. It was all U-High. They jumped out to 33-0 lead at the half. Running back Riley Small rushed for 71 yards, 4 touchdowns. Seth Gale, wide receiver, had a 59-yard touchdown reception from Emil Picarella. U-High was solid in all 3 phases. They held Woodlawn to 28 yards in the first half. Also on Thursday night down in New Orleans, Brother Martin 28-0 winner over Madison Prep. Coach Bonus really talked about Seth Dazzett, I guess is how you say, a junior quarterback. He thinks he could be the best quarterback that they've ever had at Brother Martin. He went 11 for 16, 139 yards, 3 touchdowns. In the last 2 years, these two teams have played in New Orleans week 1, and Brother Martin has outscored a very good Madison Prep team 45-0.
Wow.
It's 2 consecutive shutouts. Another score that jumped out to me tonight here locally, Cade, Mandeville and Denham Springs. Mandeville's a 38-7 winner over Denham. Kind of reversed last year. Denham won 28-13, but Denham Springs is replacing 15 starters off of this team last year. They're replacing their whole offensive line. Offense struggled in the Jamboree last week. They've struggled tonight. They have a new offensive coordinator. They've lost their running backs. It's just it's sizing up to be a tough year for Denham.
So when you got so much that you're trying to replace, especially along the offensive line, along a quarterback's best friend, like a running back, you're Jerry Horn as the quarterback. That's a tough way to be in a starting position, knowing that you need those guys to gel and your progress. Like you're on your own as far as your work you got to do, but I think as a starting quarterback, it makes it just that much harder.
Well, you can't sell out to your quarterback who you think is, your best athlete on the offense. You've got to still be able to run the football, and you got to do things to be able to help the quarterback out. Quick plays, and I'm sure they've got them all. But it's just kind of trying to find that rhythm, and right now they haven't found any type of rhythm whatsoever on offense. And also in Livingston, Live Oak was a 42-0 winner over Bel Air, and Walker struggled against Ponchatoula.
Yeah, 20-15. That one kind of surprised me there also. Catholic High goes over to Picayune, Mississippi, wins 36-35 in overtime. First win for Coach Hudson Fuller over at Catholic High. Picayune, Mississippi was no slouch. They had a running back named Chris Walker who had committed to Ole Miss. He decommitted. They have a defensive end who's the number 16th player rated overall in the country. He's a commit to Florida. They were 2-time defending 5A state champs. They were down. Calicut came back in the last minute of the game, had put a 60-yard drive together.
They were up like 2013, and then Picayune kind of made a comeback and tied it up.
And chose to go for 2 on the first overtime, and Daniel Beal slipped out of the backfield, dove in. I mean, it was right at the pylon, and officials ruled he got it in, so that's a big win for Catholic High.
No rhythm. It's kind of like me on the dance floor, Coach.
No parking, baby.
A couple of other scores from Thursday night we'll get to, and then we'll get to Acadiana and New Orleans. But Southside.
I swear I didn't see it.
Southside beating Notre Dame 27-18. Southside took a 21-6 lead at the half behind a quarterback run from Andrew Angel and 2 rushing touchdowns from running back Raymond Singleton. That's another one. Southside. They've not lost a regular season game since week 1 last year against Notre Dame.
Southside had a big, their offensive coordinator, I think, almost left them and went to Catholic Point Capee and decided to stay. So I know that I think he's still at Southside. So that was a big keep for Coach Fontenot.
They're approaching Westside numbers there.
And up north, Union Parish 28-21. Homer was up 21-7 in the third quarter and had 2 fumbles that led to 14 Union points. Tied at 21-21. Union scores late in the fourth quarter. This is kind of life after Trey Holly, the all-time leading rusher in Louisiana high school history. He's moved on to LSU, so they got some shoes to fill up there.
Life after Tackett Curtis and Jess Curtis isn't very good either. Manny lost to Sam Houston 47-10, I believe.
And it was 41-7 last week in the Jamboree to Oak Grove. And when I saw them, Todd, they were in a shotgun the whole time. They're a toe-to-toe team. I don't know if they've changed complete philosophies or not, but, man, I think I'd be kind of sticking with what worked for several years.
Congratulations to Chad Davis with their win at Sam Houston. Also, we see Sulphur and Barb with wins in their first week.
Did Natchitoches Central hold on against Woodlawn Shreveport?
I don't know.
They were up 1 point the last I saw, so that'd be Jess Curtis's first win over there.
And to recap, a story that's kind of become, and I guess we'll learn more information into the weekend, the biggest headline, and unfortunate that it is that way. Bruley and Port Allen, a 13-13 tie. I don't know if it'll end up that way, but the outside the field story is that a shooting took place inside the stadium. I believe they said somewhere close to the concession stands. One young man was killed, and another still injured. So our thoughts and prayers are with that family, with that community. Lots of other altercations around the area between last week and this week, but this one hitting home right across the river. So we had a chance to talk with Jeff Palermo, who was on the call for Game Time on Your View tonight, which is the game that was featured right before our show. So if you missed anything, we'll have that. Ryan's going to post that on demand. We had a conversation with Jeff and his crew who were there when that happened. But certainly we just want to make sure we mention our thoughts and prayers with that community. It is a tough story, and we hope and pray that moving forward, we've got some people out there that are going to do the right thing.
And the LHSAA is going to have their hands full this week. They'll be extremely busy. And when we interviewed Mr. Bodine the week before the Jamborees, we asked him, what is he looking forward to during the season? And he was talking about getting through games clean, having the fans behave, no altercations on the field. And what we are in week 1, we've had a shooting. We've had another game stopped with 4:17 left in the first half. And then we had a bench clearing brawl last night.
Yeah.
In week 1.
Disgusting. All right, we'll take a timeout. We'll get you full scoreboard when we return. This is the week 1 edition of the Louisiana Prep Scoreboard Show presented by Lake Urgent Care on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge in Your View.
Mom, what's for breakfast? Don't have time for a cold? A cut? Those allergies? Or a sprain?
I really don't have time for this.
Lake Urgent Care is here to help with easy, convenient online check-in, virtual visits, or walk-in care. Plus, we're kid-friendly and open 7 days a week, including holidays and weekends. When you don't have the time to be sick or hurt, feel better faster at Lake Urgent Care and Lake After Hours.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
When is a taco more than just a taco? When it's Government Taco. Voted best tacos 3 years in a row by 225 Magazine, Government Taco puts the most delicious spin on tacos the capital area has ever seen. With creative combinations like the Magna Carrot, the Filibuster, or the Steak of the Union. Plus perfect tortilla chips paired with the best salsa and queso you've ever had. And happy hour every day from 3 to 6 p.m. and all day on Thursday. Government Taco, 5621 Government Street.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Scooncha fall in the air. Fall is right around the corner, which means fall fishing is, which means it's time for you to take your boat to the next level with front-to-back boat service in a bunch of different ways. You want a custom stair job, you can have a ton of fun out there on the water, they can do that. What about a spot lock trolling motor? So you stay right where you need to in casting lines, or sonar that's let you see the fish under the water before you cast. All of your maintenance needs as well. For 38 years, they've been at it and will continue to do so. The Sherman family of front-to-back boat service.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Want more customers? Running Boards Marketing can help you get their attention. Imagine your brand's message on a giant LED billboard truck that can't be skipped and is nearly impossible to ignore. Running Boards Marketing is the leader in effective and affordable advertising on digital mobile billboards, which are 2 times more effective than traditional billboards. With a 97% recall rate, you'll leave a lasting impression with your customers. Visit us online at runningboardsmarketing.com so we can drive your message to where the people are.
The best kept secret in town is out. Discover Tallulah at the Renaissance Hotel on Bluebonnet.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you.
Back to Louisiana Prep Scoreboard with Cade, Todd, and Jimmy. Presented by Lake Urgent Care on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Welcome back to the Week 1 edition of the Louisiana Prep Scoreboard Show, presented by Lake Urgent Care. Cade Wazan, Todd Black, and Jimmy Roy. All Akon night tonight. Appreciate it, Ryan. Get to your scores in just a bit, but don't forget you can catch anything you missed tonight on demand at 1045ESPN.com or through the free ESPN Baton Rouge mobile app. Conversations with your views, Jeff Palermo, with David Brewerton from Zachary, with Justin Scoggin from over at Airline. Great conversations throughout the season, and you're going to find them over at 1045ESPN.com or through the free ESPN Baton Rouge mobile app.
You know why Todd was late running back in here, huh?
Me.
He's over there stuffing his face with some of this good Izzo's
Yep.
Had a little platter in there that Skip went and picked up.
Like a tailgating party thing.
It looked like you made him some nachos instead of making the taco.
Look at it.
Got a little guac.
Had some chicken and some beef and some nachos and cheese and pico and, man, all kind of stuff. They hooked us up tonight.
You know, appreciate those guys.
Yes. Look, we had options between you could go veggie if you wanted with some of the pico, but you had the chicken and you had the steak, cheese, plenty of chips. They hooked us up with some great lemonade and tea as well. So, look, you can feed the family. If you're looking for an option this weekend, and maybe you haven't thought in a while of, you're thinking of just the standard places you go to every single time. This is a good option for this weekend. You can feed a lot of people with some chips, with some dip. It'll go a long way. It's like making a jambalaya.
This was
everything else.
What, Izzo's on Bluebonnet, correct?
Okay.
Izzo's on Bluebonnet.
I tell you what, he's a true professional, isn't he?
That's right.
He just made my 3 words into 2 minutes of
That's
a
his
nice,
job.
good, solid sell.
You had an avocado, and I made the guacamole.
There you go.
That is a fact.
But again, thank you, Izzo.
Yeah, we much
We
appreciate
appreciate
it.
you, sir.
A lot of love to Izzo's tonight. Let's get you caught up on scores, and we'll start first in the capital city.
The Capital City Scoreboard, presented by Lake Urgent Care.
Parkview a 52-46 winner over Dunham. Burley and Port Allen is a 13-13 tie. De La Salle 27, Central 20. Mandeville a 48-7 winner over Denham Springs. St. Michael is a 27-24 winner over Episcopal. Estroma a big winner over Capital, 43-6. West Feliciana defeats East Feliciana 34-22. Santa Maria over GW Carver 45-20.
The New Orleans Bayou Scoreboard, served by walk-ons.
St. Charles defeats Archbishop Shaw 17-10. Newman over Hanville 41-21. East St. John 41, St. James 40. Edie White defeats Vanderbilt Catholic 52-14. McDonough 35 and St. Aug will be tomorrow night. Ascension Catholic blanks West St. John 45-0. Lutcher shuts out Thibodeau 23-0. And Carr over LB Landry 33-0.
The Acadiana Scoreboard, pumped by Peak Performance.
Lafayette Christian over Acadiana 61-38. Kinder a 46-28 winner over Welsh. Kaplan defeats North Vermilion 18-14. Sam Houston over Manny 47-10. Carencrow a 46-26 winner over Alexandria. St. Thomas More over Como 45-6. Iota defeats Iowa 21-14. And Vermilion Catholic 26. Catholic New Iberia 14.
The North and Central Louisiana Scoreboard, insured by State Farm.
Neville defeats Evangel 30-29. Airline 53-42 winner over North DeSoto. Gina defeats Mangum 34-32. Warren Easton point better than Ruston 20-19. Westminster over Sterlington 14-3. Calvary Baptist 47, Logan Sport 12. Ouachita 21-20 winner over Archbishop Rummel. And Parkway 43, Minden 41.
The North Shore Scoreboard, restored by Brock, the Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic.
Covington a 34-18 winner over John Errett. Riverside 55, St. Thomas Aquinas 18. Jesuit shuts out Slidell 10-0. Ponchatoula 20-15 winner over Walker. Dutchtown over North Shore 35-16. Bogalusa 36-31 winner over Franklinton. St. Paul defeats West Jefferson 49-6. And Fontainebleau over Lakeshore 24-0.
Thank you, Skip, getting our scores throughout the night. Adam Skip Cotrier, and he'll be barbecuing some ribs this weekend, so I look forward to having some leftovers, if there's any. Probably not.
I know they look good. Pictures you sent me last night.
Yeah. Before we get out of here, and helmet stickers about 10 minutes away, we'll highlight some top performers. Want to go back to the Acadiana area. We mentioned big score from Lafayette Christian. What else stood out tonight, Jim?
Yeah, Lafayette Christian 61-38 win over Acadiana. This is the third year in a row that they've beaten Acadiana. This is Hunter Landry's first win as a head coach. He was promoted from the offensive coordinator last year, Juwan Johnson, calling Juju, LSU commit, put on a show tonight. They have one of the top defensive linemen in the country, and Melvin Hills committed to Texas. I don't know what's going on with Acadiana right now. They're going to have to figure out a few things. They have the players, or they have players. Let's say that. I'm not going to say they have everything they need. Dominic McKinley, the top-rated player in the country as a defensive tackle. He committed to Texas A&M today, I think. Karen Crow defeated Alexandria 46-26. Chance Babin, he's a sophomore. He's a name to keep an eye on, keep your ears open for and listen for. They moved him from a wide receiver athlete type to a quarterback. They lost several 2- and 3-year starters on their offensive line, but Coach Corville had his guys ready to play. They were getting it to that point where they're just reloading at Karen Crow also. Turlings with a big win over Opelousas 34-16. You know, Jimmy Zachary did a heck of a job last year going 9-2 at Opelousas. They played a lot of freshmen and sophomores last year. They're going to make another good run at it this year, but Coach Chaponte has Preston Welch back at quarterback. He's a 3-year starter, thrown for over 5,000 yards and 60 touchdowns. They lost all-state receiver Kentrell Prejean, but they got a big-time transfer in Aiden Trahan from Acadiana. He helps them a lot. So good night over there in the Acadiana area.
Now, on the New Orleans side, we got a team looking to three-peat in St. Charles. That'll be interesting if they can make it all the way. They had, Shaw tonight to open the season.
What a job Wayne Stein's done filling Frank Monica's shoes. That's not easy to do.
He won in baseball, too.
And he won in baseball 2 years in a row. I think it is 2 years in a row in football. I mean, he was living right. Mm-hmm. And they were down early in this one and came back to win. They lost their quarterback, Aiden Althmont, who did everything for him. Brady St. Pierre takes over for him. Now, one big thing St. Pierre got to do last year, he started 5 games when Althmont was hurt. But they do return, and anytime you lose a quarterback like that, the key to them is they return 4 of their 5 guys on the offensive line. And when you're bringing in a new quarterback, that is important. And Hank Tierney has done a good job down there at Shaw. He's gaining some respect. You know, last year was 37-0. This year 17-10.
Well, look, St. Charles and U High in the scrimmage played toe-to-toe. You know, it wasn't a walkover by any means. St. Charles, we always talk, when we talk to Coach Cook or we talk to Coach Monica or Coach Curtis, the one thing that they say they do when we ask them the secrets of their success is keep it simple. Mm-hmm. There's something to that.
St. Charles is kind of becoming what Notre Dame was 10 years ago. Not that Notre Dame's down. I mean, even though they lost tonight, they're still good and well coached. But, again, that program where nothing wows you, but they do everything right. They're never out of position, very well coached, very fundamentally sound. And every time you play one of them teams, you're going to have to –
They don't beat themselves.
Exactly. You're going to have to go beat them. They're not going to give you anything.
And it's not like they're getting these 5-star transfers in there either because they're surrounded by the Pontchartrain and everything else, and they're just doing it.
Schools and all that, yeah.
I think last year, I don't think they've ever signed a SEC player or a Power 5 player, if I'm not mistaken. And yet they win all the time. Mm-hmm. East St. John with a big win over St. James tonight. That had to be a heck of a game, 41-40. Congratulations, Coach Brandon Brown. He's another one thing that you
met
see
him at the coaches
in
convention.
common, but is seeing quarterback battle. They have one going on down there, and another thing you see is transfers all over the place. Also, you go back and look at Shaw. 2 of their best players is a running back and a wide receiver transferred from Jesuit, I believe.
Well, St. Thomas Aquinas has got some kid from North Shore that's supposedly a stud football player.
One thing about East St. John, they 10-3 last year, lost by 1 point to Destrehan in the playoffs. They returned 4 or 5 on their offensive line and all 4 on the defensive line.
Destrehan's got a very good quarterback too, and I'm going to have to think of his name here real quick. And
he's a young one.
Yeah, right? He's a young one.
Yeah, Hanville and Newman. Newman won 41-21. That one kind of surprised me. It's kind of what's going on after Arch Manning.
Right.
He got so much of the attention, but they have a new quarterback in Eli Friend. He's a 6'2", 200-pound junior. Jake Randall at running back's pretty good. They have a big offensive tackle, Brett Bordelon. He'll be the third player to play in that family at LSU. He's a 6'6", 290-pound guy.
Jackson Fields. From Destrehan.
Destrehan.
Chris Purvis' nephew. With peak performance.
Okay. Eight starters return on defense also for Newman. So one that kind of surprised me was Jesuit and Slidell. Jesuit wins 10-0. I thought Slidell would win this game. They have a competition at quarterback, but they return 4 of their 5 guys. Jesuit small. They do have a good quarterback in senior Bo Perez. He returns. Their wide receiver group is all sophomores and freshmen. Their own offensive line is small. They only have 2 players over 230 pounds on the offensive line. But yet they go over there and beat Slidell tonight.
Impressive from both the Acadiana and the New Orleans area tonight. And when we return, we'll let you know who was the most impressive. We'll honor the top performers with our helmet stickers. When we return, Week 1 edition of the Louisiana Prep Scoreboard Show presented by Lake Urgent Care on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge and your view.
When is a taco more than just a taco? When it's Government Taco. Voted best tacos 3 years in a row by 225 Magazine, Government Taco puts the most delicious spin on tacos the capital area has ever seen. With creative combinations like the Magna Carrot, the Filibuster, or the Steak of the Union. Plus perfect tortilla chips paired with the best salsa and queso you've ever had. And happy hour every day from 3 to 6 p.m. and all day on Thursday. Government Taco, 5621 Government Street.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Scooncha fall in the air. Fall is right around the corner, which means fall fishing is, which means it's time for you to take your boat to the next level with front-to-back boat service in a bunch of different ways. You want a custom stair job, you can have a ton of fun out there on the water. They can do that. What about a spot lock trolling motor? So you stay right where you need to in casting lines. Or sonar that's let you see the fish under the water before you cast. All of your maintenance needs as well. For 38 years, they've been at it and will continue to do so. The Sherman family of front-to-back boat service.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Want more customers? Running Boards Marketing can help you get their attention. Imagine your brand's message on a giant LED billboard truck that can't be skipped and is nearly impossible to ignore. Running Boards Marketing is the leader in effective and affordable advertising on digital mobile billboards, which are 2 times more effective than traditional billboards. With a 97% recall rate, you'll leave a lasting impression with your customers. Visit us online at runningboardsmarketing.com so we can drive your message to where the people are.
The best kept secret in town is out. Discover Tallulah at the Renaissance Hotel on Bluebonnet.
Follow us on Twitter at 1045ESPN to cast your vote in the Citizens Bank and Trust poll of the day. Vote daily inside Off the Bench, live at lunch on Palmer. And after further review, Citizens Bank and Trust brings you the poll of the day via Twitter at 1045ESPN.
At Corvell Toyota in Opelousas, you can lease a new Toyota 4Runner for $489 per month. That's right, you can get a brand new Toyota 4Runner for only $489 per month. So come on down to Happy Town. That's Corvell Toyota in Opelousas, Happy Town, USA.
Do you think you have COVID-19?
I'm worried I may have COVID.
We're open 7 days a week for both rapid COVID and antibody testing. Life is busy. You don't have time. Get your results fast at Lake Urgent Care and Lake After Hours.
Mom, what's for breakfast?
Don't have time for a cold? A cut? Those allergies? Or a sprain?
I really don't have time for this.
Lake Urgent Care is here to help with easy, convenient online check-in, virtual visits, or walk-in care. Plus, we're kid-friendly and open 7 days a week, including holidays and weekends.
Coach Mahaffey from Walker High School, and you're listening to Louisiana Prep Scoreboard with Kay, Todd, and Jimmy on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Welcome back to the final segment tonight of the Week 1 edition, Lake Urgent Care, Louisiana Prep Scoreboard Show. Kate Wazan, Todd Black, and Jimmy Roy. And as we do, or we will, at the end of each show, we're going to honor the top performers tonight with our helmet stickers.
Highlighting tonight's top performers. This is Helmet Stickers on Louisiana Prep Scoreboard.
I'll start first with Coach Todd Black.
I'm going to go with the kicker from Catholic High, Sean Perrette, because
it's in his genes.
Well, to tie the game, they scored. There was a 15-yard penalty, so it backed them up to the 18. It's still a 35-yard field goal, but to be in that situation, to be able to knock that down, I think that that's worthy of my helmet sticker this evening.
And that was like, 15 seconds left in the game or something like that? So, yeah,
pressure situation.
Very, very clutch. I'm going to go with Juju Johnson over at Lafayette Christian. Anytime you can put up 8 touchdowns, now that is passing and rushing against an Acadiana team, that's a heck of a night. And also, the police and EMS people over in Port Allen.
No doubt. Boy, tough situation across the river. I'm going to give mine to a team tonight. I'll go with St. Michael, getting a win over Episcopal. Not sure how 6-4A will play out this year. Was it last season or the season before? We had spoken with their coach and that young man who was basically the Swiss Army knife, and they were trying to grow and they were trying to instill something new in that team. And it takes a while. And is Episcopal going to have the same mistakes and miscues, and kind of give them those opportunities every week? Probably not. But St. Michael took advantage of it tonight, and they get that win 27-24, and we'll see how that goes going forward for the Warriors.
One more, Todd. Captain Shreve running back Jamarlin Otis rushed for 313 yards on 21 carries last night, 3 touchdowns in their win over Loyola. That's a school record for Captain Shreve.
Well, it's hard not to recognize to Elijah Haven again, the 9th grader that's throwing for 400 and ran for 107 touchdowns.
I can tell you, people in about 4 years, they're going to get tired of us talking about him.
His work ethic is just as good as he is, and he's a better person than he is a football player or basketball player.
We were talking off air. 6'4", 195 as a freshman. Most kids that size are awkward. He's a hell of an athlete.
So he's a freshman, right?
Yes.
So how much of what we're seeing now comes from raw talent? Because he's going to continue to learn. I'm sure he's got a long way to really grasp everything that's going to come his way. And a lot of it maybe comes in where maybe instinct happens, and just as a talent or as an athlete, you can you're seeing the potential is even better when you're just seeing, I guess, a snapshot right now.
But Todd Black's doing special lessons, private lessons on the side. He's been working with Todd for
since he was sixth grade. I mean,
So he's been working with him for several years.
But that has nothing to do with it.
But he is a special athlete. Yeah. But he's only going to get better and better and better.
And he's got a great coach in Neil Weiner, and also a great receiver to throw to in Jack Cuomo. And he'll be the first to tell you those guys really help him out.
Well, it's something we will be keeping an eye on this season. It's great to have that local talent right down the road. It makes for exciting Friday nights, which we're here to talk about, here to promote, and we invite you to tune in on Wednesday night. We'll be at Walk-Ons, and we'll be honoring our next State Farm Student Athlete and Coach of the Week.
Man, what'd I do to deserve that one?
I don't know.
You just look like you were sleeping. I was trying to catch you.
Oh, no.
Catch you a little bit.
I think
I'm going to get plucked in the head shortly.
He was plucking a firefly away. We got all of the show tonight on demand at 1045ESPN.com. Thanks so much, and we'll see you next week.
Scooncha, fall in the air. Fall is right around the corner, which means fall fishing is, which means it's time for you to take your boat to the next level with front-to-back boat service in a bunch of different ways. You want a custom stair job, you can have a ton of fun out there on the water. They can do that. What about a spot lock trolling motor? So you stay right where you need to in casting lines. Or sonar that's let you see the fish under the water before you cast. All of your maintenance needs as well. For 38 years, they've been at it and will continue to do so. The Sherman family of front-to-back boat service.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Want more customers? Running Boards Marketing can help you get their attention. Imagine your brand's message on a giant LED billboard truck that can't be skipped and is nearly impossible to ignore. Running Boards Marketing is the leader in effective and affordable advertising on digital mobile billboards, which are 2 times more effective than traditional billboards. With a 97% recall rate, you'll leave a lasting impression with your customers. Visit us online at runningboardsmarketing.com so we can drive your message to where the people are.
The best kept secret in town is out. Discover Tallulah at the Renaissance Hotel on Bluebonnet.